There's a crisis happening in the automotive industry right now, and nobody is talking about it. For 3 years, dealerships treated you like an ATM. They charged $10,000 over sticker price. They forced you to buy useless warranties. They acted like they were doing you a favor by selling you a car. Well, karma has finally arrived. As we head into 2026, dealer lots are not just full, they are overflowing. They are renting abandoned malls and racetracks just to store the cars they cannot sell. Interest rates have frozen the market. The subprime auto loan bubble is bursting, and there are 7 specific SUVs that have become completely unsellable. These cars are rotting on the lot. The tires have flat spots, the batteries are dead, the paint is fading. Dealers are desperate. They're slashing prices by 20, 30, even 40% just to move the metal. Today, I am going to show you the do not buy list of rotting inventory. These are the cars that nobody wants, and I will tell you exactly why you shouldn't buy them either, even with a massive discount. Let's start with a car that is haunting dealership lots right now, the leftover 2024 Nissan Murano. Nissan finally redesigned this car for 2025, which means dealers are stuck with thousands of these zombie 2024 models that nobody wants. This old generation uses the 3.5-liter V6 engine. It's actually a decent motor. It's old, it's thirsty, but it works. The problem is what it's attached to. It uses the Jatco CVT transmission. In a heavy, mid-size SUV, this transmission is a ticking bomb. It slips, it whines, and it eventually snaps. Nissan dealers have hundreds of these leftovers sitting on the lot because for $40,000, you can buy a Honda Passport or a Toyota Highlander that is better in every single way. The tech is from 2015. The backup camera looks like it was filmed with a potato. Dealers are offering massive rebates to clear them out for the new model, but do not take the bait. You are buying a decade-old car for a new car price. It will depreciate 60% the moment you drive it off the lot. Let it rot. If you want to see pure desperation, walk into a Dodge dealership and look at the Hornet. Dodge promised us a new muscle car. Instead, they gave us a rebadged Alfa Romeo Tonale from Italy. Nobody wants this car. It is too small to be a family SUV, it is too unreliable to be a commuter, and it is way too expensive. Stellantis currently has the highest days supply of inventory in the entire industry, and the Hornet is the leader of the pack. Mechanically, it is a nightmare. It uses a small turbocharged engine that is already dealing with electrical gremlins and software glitches. Because it's built in Italy alongside the Alfa Romeo, parts availability is a disaster. I have seen dealers advertising Hornets for $10,000 under sticker price, and they still can't sell them. Why? Because Dodge buyers want V8s, not small Italian crossovers. This car has no audience. It is destined to be discontinued. Do not buy a future orphan. Before we get to the luxury disasters, we have to understand why this is happening. For the last few years, banks were approving anyone with a pulse. Now, default rates are skyrocketing. Banks have tightened their lending standards. The average car payment is now over $730 a month. People simply cannot afford it anymore. This has caused a bottleneck. Manufacturers like Ford, GM, and Stellantis kept building cars as if the economy was booming. They overproduced. Now, those cars have nowhere to go. They sit in overflow lots in Detroit and ports in Baltimore. Dealers are refusing to take delivery of new inventory because they haven't sold the inventory from last year. This is a deflationary spiral, and for you, the buyer with cash, it is the opportunity of a lifetime if you avoid the lemons. Speaking of deflation, let's talk about the car that loses value faster than Bitcoin in a crash, the Mercedes EQS SUV. This is a $110,000 electric egg. Mercedes thought they could just slap a badge on a blob-shaped EV and charge 6 figures. The market said no. Used examples of the EQS are selling for $50,000 after just 1 year. That is a $60,000 loss in 12 months. Because the used values collapsed, nobody wants to buy a new one. Why would you pay $110,000 for something worth $50,000 next year? The technology is impressive, but it is fragile. The Hyperscreen dash costs thousands to replace. The tires wear out every 10,000 miles because the car is so heavy. Dealers are practically giving these away on lease deals just to get the VIN numbers off their books. Unless you want to set money on fire, avoid the EQS. Lincoln makes some great cars, like the Navigator, but the Lincoln Corsair is rotting on lots because buyers aren't stupid. They know this is just a Ford Escape in a tuxedo. It rides on the same chassis, it uses the same engines, but Lincoln charges $15,000 more for it. In a tough economy, entry-level luxury is the first segment to die. People either buy the cheaper Ford or they step up to a real luxury brand like Lexus or BMW. The Corsair sits in no man's land. Inventory is stacking up. You can find brand new 2024 models sitting on lots in 2026. Mechanically, it is identical to the Ford Escape. You are paying a $50,000 premium for leather seats and a badge on a car that will depreciate like a rock. That is why nobody is buying it. Ford made two mistakes with this next car. First, they called an electric crossover a Mustang, which angered every car enthusiast on Earth. Second, they overproduced them by the tens of thousands. The Ford Mustang Mach-E. There are acres of these sitting unsold. Ford has slashed the price multiple times, but they still aren't moving. The problem is the competition. The Tesla Model Y is cheaper, has access to the supercharger network natively, and has better software. Mechanically, early Mach-E's had issues with the high-voltage battery contactors welding themselves shut, causing the car to lose power. Ford has fixed this in newer models, but the reputation damage is done. Dealers are treating these like radioactive waste. They don't want them. You shouldn't either. When was the last time you saw a Buick Envision and thought, wow, I want that? Never. This car is a ghost. Most people don't know this, but the Buick Envision is built in China and shipped to the US. It competes in the most brutal segment in the world, compact SUVs. It has to fight the RAV4, the CR-V, and the CX-5, and it loses to all of them. It isn't reliable enough, it isn't luxurious enough, and it isn't cheap enough. Because the brand appeal of Buick is dying with its elderly customer base, the resale value is horrific. Dealers are sitting on 150 days of supply. They will offer you incredible financing deals, but remember, a cheap interest rate on a car that loses 70% of its value is still a bad deal. And finally, the undisputed champion of unsold inventory, the Jeep Grand Wagoneer. This represents everything wrong with the modern car market. Jeep, a brand known for off-roaders, decided to build a luxury SUV to fight the Cadillac Escalade. They priced it at over $100,000. The interior is nice, but the badge still says Jeep. Nobody, and I mean nobody, is walking into a Jeep dealership to spend $110,000. They also dropped the V8 engine and replaced it with the twin-turbo inline-six Hurricane. It is a powerful engine, but it is complex and unproven. Buyers in this segment want a V8. I have seen Grand Wagoneers sitting on lots for over 400 days. They are literally rotting. Dealers are offering $15,000 or even $20,000 off sticker price, but even at $80,000, it is a bad buy. The electrical gremlins are legendary. The screens glitch, the air suspension fails, and the resale value drops like a stone. Let the dealer keep it. It is a monument to corporate arrogance. The car market crash is here. Dealers are holding the bag on billions of dollars of inventory they cannot sell. This is good news for you, if you know what to buy. You can use their desperation to get a deal, but don't buy one of these rotting lemons just because it's cheap. Instead of buying a rotting Jeep, look at the $8,000 SUV that is actually better than a Toyota. It's the smartest buy in the market right now. Click here to watch.